As you can tell by the name, the Summary tab in the project is designed to summarize the various pieces of information that we have that don't actually fit the rest of the different categories. So most of this stuff is not mission planning, it's not mobilization, it's not day-to-day. It's things that we just basically need to put somewhere, in addition to stats and a couple other things that will help the summary. A lot of the stuff comes over from the hazard, so as you build the hazard, then create the project from the hazard, things like the hazard field, the name, the overview, disaster type, all this stuff can come over, and then you're left to fill in the rest. So anything that's red is a required field, anything that is blue is a highly recommended field, and in some cases you don't really have a choice even though it's blue. I'm going to run through a few of the fields to give you some tips and tricks, but be sure to look at the wiki for all the latest, greatest information. So to start with, let's talk about the approval level lookup. This is a new field that allows us to pick between regional, national, and international. And whenever you pick national and international, the approval process changes on the back end to select specific people. Disaster type, owner, all that stuff comes over whenever the hazard's built. We have operations hard-coded for anything that is an operation, but then underneath the subtype you can pick between recovery, response, mitigation, as you'd expect. Incident type is the ICS typing, and so that kind of goes hand in hand with the approval level lookup. So normally a type 4, type 5 is going to be a regional approval, a type 1, 2, and 3 is going to be national. Not always, but usually. Down here we have operational details, and again, some of the stuff you may not know until later in the mission planning process, so it's okay to be blank for a while. Distro email 1 and 2 are designed to allow for anybody in the project to add additional distribution lists, and those will go out automatically with the rest of the automated approvals. In the location area, we're requiring at least the state and zip code because those come in handy for things like the audience builder. And the location name and city, again, you may not know for a while until you're farther in the mission planning process, so they're not required initially. Project accounts basically will pop in automatically, so they're listed here, but they tend to come in whenever someone's adding in a new ISR contact or a Warno contact, so you probably won't have to worry too much about project accounts. Dispatch instruction information, it's important to keep this up to date. So as you have changeover in the CNG, the resource unit leader or the planning section chief, whoever the on-site point of contact is, you'll want to make sure that this stays current because this information is automatically included in the dispatch instructions as we send more and more people to the operation. The campaign section highlights the fact that there'll be probably at least one, if not more, campaigns per operation because there will be several marketing lists, customer journeys, lots of different email blasts that can go out as a result of an operation, and so the campaign will help to contain them all under one umbrella. And last but not least, the timeline is where a lot of the different activities can be stored. So any emails that get sent, if there's any tasks that we add in later, things like that will show up in the timeline as well, just to try to keep track. We do have some extra space that we do plan on filling in future versions of the project entity, so probably expect to see a lot more stats, some new fields, like as we decide to increase the functionality, as we get into more and more reporting, a lot of that was probably going to end up in the summary tab. That's it for this video. Go ahead and go on to the next one.